Once you start playing Wuthering Waves, you'll have access to many characters. In this video, I'll tell you about the top 5 characters that you want to keep an eye out for, especially if you want to have a smooth progress in your early game. Keep in mind that the characters in this video are not selected based on how strong they are, but based on how much value they can provide to your account. Therefore, characters like Jian and Kelcharo, which are extremely strong characters, are not in this list. Well then, let's get to the first character. Verena. She's one of the only 2 Spectro characters in the game at release and one of the only 2 healers in the game at release. But neither of these 2 things are what makes her valuable. Her value comes from the team-wide buffs that she can provide. She can buff up the entire team's attack by 20% and the entire team's damage by 15% by using a resonance skill and outro skill respectively. She can also prevent one of her characters from dying once every 10 minutes. All this combined with the ample amount of healing she gives to the entire team makes her a very valuable character to build, especially if you get her early game. Next, I'll be talking about Yinlin. She's an excellent secondary DPS character that can provide buffs for both electro damage and resonance aberration damage, while also dishing out a significant damage of her own, even comparing to the primary DPSs in the game. Her advantage is that she's able to do a lot for being just a single character. Her damage is comparable to the primary electro DPS Kelcharo, while she can also provide electro damage dealers very strong buffs like 20% electro damage bonus and 25% resonance liberation damage bonus. These buffs are very strong and will make her relevant for a long time. She's also a very flexible damage dealer, being able to deal damage both from on-field and off-field using her Forte circuit. This makes her a very valuable character and definitely a character you would want to pick up if you're looking to pick up characters that are gonna stay relevant for a long time. Enough with the 5 stars, now let's talk about a few 4 stars, shall we? The next character is Danjin. Although I did say that it's not about damage, but Danjin's value as a 4-star character is unprecedented. She's the only 4-star character in the game which can dish out damage comparable to 5-star primary DPSs, if not higher. He's a character with a high skill expression, so if you're good with the game, you'll be able to clear the hardest content with the game with her solo. But DPS is not the only thing she provides. Although this is underutilized right now, her outro skill can provide a 30% buff to Havoc damage to the next character. Since we don't have any Havoc primary DPSs in the game as of now, this skill is not useful, but from a value standpoint, when a strong Havoc primary DPS comes out, Danjin will undoubtedly be the best in slot secondary DPS for that character. So Danjin is an excellent character even as a main DPS in the start and as a secondary DPS down the line in the future when a very strong Havoc primary DPS character comes out. Next up, let's talk about Baizhi. She is a free character you will get by doing the story. She is one of the only 2 healers in the game, which obviously increases her value. But she not only does healing, but is also able to provide buffs to the team. With her outro skill, she's able to increase the damage of the characters that are getting healed by her by 15% for 6 seconds. Although the duration of this buff is much shorter than Verena's, it is very strong and very valuable for a free 4-star character. As a healer, Baizhi is a very flexible character who can fit in the 3rd slot of any team, which makes her value really high. Of course, down the line there's a good probability that a stronger healer character comes out and she might lose relevancy, but in the early game, she is definitely a valuable character to build. Although, as a support healer character, you wouldn't even need to invest much resources to get her going, which makes her a strong character with minimal investment. And last but not the least, we have Rover. Rover is the main character of the game, and unlike the other gacha games, the main character in this game, Rover, is very strong. Rover right now is one of the only 2 Spectro characters in the game and has very good damage dealing capabilities. Not only they have damage dealing capabilities, but down the line when you unlock the 4th resonance chain, which you can unlock for free, they're even able to provide some healing to the entire team. Rover has a very special outro skill where they create a field and enemies in this field are slowed down. This allows you to dodge fatal attacks or even deal more damage by extending enemies' vulnerability time. This makes Rover a very good character to build. But there's yet another reason that you would want to build Rover. Rover as the main character will be getting access to other elements in the future. This means that down the line they will only be getting stronger with access to different kits. So do invest in Rover. Another thing that I've forgotten to mention in this video is about the roguelike endgame mode, Depths of Elusive Realm. This endgame mode only allows you to play one character, and not every character is available to be played in this endgame mode. As of now, Baizhi and Rover are the two characters from this list that you can use to play this game mode, which means that building them is even more beneficial as it allows you to gain more rewards as you can use them in this endgame mode. Baizhi is especially good in this endgame mode because of her self heals, and all the buffs in this endgame mode make her an absolute unit. Therefore, I would recommend you to invest in these two characters. Well then, that's it for the video. If you want to know how team building works in Wuthering Waves, then check this video out. I'll see you next time.